Allegedly.
What do you mean? You find a live stream. So you just take somebody's live stream and then mute their audio and you start talking? Is that what it is?
What are you talking about?
You said illegally stream a game.
Yeah.
Not like a football
So
game. I'm talking about like a like on Twitch.
no, like a football game.
Oh.
I was very confused just now, CJ.
Sorry. I just sometimes I think thoughts, but they don't catch up to my mouth.
It'd be like that.
Yeah. Danny, you went out again? Are you okay? It says that you're connected. Oh, we lost Danny.
Tears.
He was a good one.
Never forget his impact.
So what were you saying about England, Germany?
Oh yeah, England was really bad. Like people were just gonna talk about that Frank Lampard goal.
Mm-hmm.
But like England was really bad the whole game.
They got squashed like 4-1, something like that, right?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. They were saying, I remember like the whole hubbubaloo back then was that like if Lampard would score that goal, it would have been a different game.
Yeah, which I hear you. I understand why you think that, but probably not,
Danny, what's here? Can you even hear us?
I can hear you.
Oh.
Then he has no idea what's going on.
I just heard the Lampard goal. Is it the one against Germany?
Yeah.
Oh, nah. Germany was too strong.
I don't know. Back then, that German team, like, a lot of people didn't have a lot of faith in.
Oh, yeah. Because they only got third place in the World Cup.
Yeah, and back then, like, Ozil and Thomas Muller were, like, 20.
I mean,
and they were like going to the World Cup with youngsters and stuff at that time.
that was my favorite Germany squad.
A team with Lucas Podolski and fucking why is Sammy Khedira still in the team 10 years later?
I thought they booted him.
No, he's still here, and he was there. He was in that game 10 years ago.
Oh, what are they gonna rely on? Lars Bender?
They're gonna
Was
bring
he
back
good?
Schweinsteiger. Who? Lars Bender?
No,
Sammy.
Kadira.
Yeah, he was good.
He played for Madrid for like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, he was very well liked at Madrid.
Really?
I believe
I
so.
don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like he was a side thing.
I mean, you always need side pieces in your team. If not, then you can't like. You're never gonna be good. Look at Man City. I mean, without like an actual defensive midfielder, no set of foul, they're just like giving up goals.
Yeah.
Gabby
City's
Jesus
worthless
can't keep the team up.
All right, relax, buddy.
And we're back. I needed that.
That's what the whole podcast is about, just you needing to bash Gabby Jesus.
Yeah, I just needed to talk to my friends and talk about soccer since it's coming back soon. And to bash Gabby Jesus.
It is.
Bash?
It's,
He
people
scored
keep
against
throwing
Madrid.
around. People keep throwing around like a June date for some games to come back. Which I'm not sure if it's too early, but who cares?
The players care.
Nah, Kyle. What's his name? Rose. Rose really cares. He went nuts. Danny Rose.
Did you hear what he had to say, Danny, on his somebody's Instagram live stream?
What do you say?
I mean, I don't know the exact words, but he was basically like, "Fuck all of that." Like the country's saying, I'm paraphrasing as Danny Rose, but he's saying like the leader's saying that we need football in this country to bring morale back. But he's like, nah, like fuck that. People out here dying, like why do we need to come back and stuff like that?
I mean, you got a point.
Yeah, he's not
But
wrong.
I want the title taken away from Liverpool, so it must go on.
Remember? You guys remember they're like, it would take something stupid for Liverpool not to get the league now, and it happened.
Yeah, it's exactly what happened.
They still might win the title. Like I've been on ESPN like the past couple weeks, on like the last week just to get ready for this pod. And like I've been reading things being thrown out like they're gonna decide the title like they did in France, like points per game and something like crazy like that.
Mm.
What do you guys think about that? Should it be decided on points per game, or should you just play out the games without any fans?
They should use the last year's table. No relegation.
What do you mean by that? Just go off last year's table. Just Man City wins the title again.
No. Like no title, but like that's your starting position to like decide qualifiers or Champions League, Europa League. No champion.
What do you think, Andrew?
I don't know if that's the best way to do it. I think it's like I think what the lower leagues are doing, like League 1 and League 2 are just canceling like the championship and shit, like just financially and just starting over next year. With the Premier League, it's obviously much different because they have so much like financial and political power to like sway things, especially with votes and stuff, you know what I mean? But what I would like to see is just even if it does give Liverpool the title, who cares, whatever, just, you know, call this season and end. Put an asterisk next to the title.
Give him half a trophy.
Yeah, give them half a trophy. You know, because there hasn't been a proper. These players haven't played in months, so it's just like if there was a summer break, they're gonna come back. Everyone's gonna be super rusty. It's not gonna be great.
What
So I think you just call it and do it like a preseason.
What do you guys think of this option? We make a 16-team tournament for the Premier League. Make it kind of like how the World Cup is. You make four groups of 4 teams, top 2 advance, and then you do a playoff like a tournament style, and then your final 2 teams, the winner out of that is your champion.
I would really enjoy seeing like a tournament playoff style type deal, but it still suffers from the same thing where like the players haven't played. Like imagine like it'd be a preseason tournament.
It's the what's it called? WCC or what's it called?
The ICC Intercontinental Cup.
Yeah, it's that. It's the Audi Cup.
The Audi Cup.
But can't you always just push back next year? I mean, like, next season isn't even guaranteed, Like, we don't know what's going to lie down the road in, like, 5 or 6 months, If you're saying the season's going to start in August, like, we're still not going to have fans in the stands. Like, how's testing going to go? Are we going to flatten the curve and all?
You think they would start in January?
What? Yeah, like Danny says, like, why not just play it out and then, rest in, I don't know, the winter months and then start in January?
I don't know the logistics behind that. Because if you want to cancel it, I'm all for just canceling it and just starting in January or just starting like in the summer again. Probably not in the summer. I agree it's still too early to play, but they're most likely going to do it. And so if they are going to do it, let's do it in the way that's probably the most safe and the least entertaining.
You heard that that one there's a Brighton player that recently got tested positive? Like, I think yesterday or a couple
what player?
Days ago. I forget. They didn't say his name. But, like, if he got it, then, like, Brighton can't play, right? So, like, that fucks up the June start date.
I don't know about that because each league is different, just like each country's different. Like, France canceled their season, but the Bundesliga is going on, and, like, what is it? And each league inside the country is different too. Because I read that an entire team in the Bundesliga too, like they're all quarantined. But one player in some Bundesliga team, just one of them just tested positive, but they're still going to continue with the game on Friday. So it's just different.
What the fuck?
Results.
Risky.
Yeah, I guess when it's that many like hands in the pot and there's too many like different goals, I guess you could say, at hand for like what these players and teams want to achieve. Because at the end of the day, it's a business. It's a business. It's the same thing as like fucking Chick-fil-A wanting to reopen. You know, they're gonna do everything they can to reopen. If they gotta give all their employees masks and gloves, if Danny Rose has to wear a fucking helmet, then they're gonna make him wear a helmet.
Can you imagine that? That'd be weird.
It's probably in the works right now.
When did Danny
Imagine the
Rose
headers.
move to Newcastle?
Danny Rose is at Newcastle.
Yeah.
I think it was in the winter.
I have always known him as a Tottenham player.
Yeah, I thought he was still there.
He was-
but I guess Mourinho was like. Also, I forget that Mourinho's the coach of Tottenham, like to this day.
Odd times.
Right?
Everything was fine until Mourinho was coach.
Yeah, I agree.
Danny, did you listen to that podcast I sent you?
I listened to the first half and then I forgot about it. But I was listening to it and like I got to the part where he's like the cutting players,
Oh yeah.
I think.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And yeah. I thought it was crazy. It's like our president right now. A fraud.
Jose Mourinho a fraud? Who would have thought? Just kidding, he's not a
Jose
fraud. He's one of
Mourinho.
the greatest coaches of all times.
He's just in decline.
I told
Yo, do
Dan-
you think?
Oh, go ahead, Andrew.
Do you think that Jose Mourinho has a Peloton?
For sure.
He strikes
A
me as
what?
the type. A Peloton.
What's that?
One of those bikes. The indoor bicycles that you pedal and like there's all those commercials for.
Yeah. I can see him doing that.
He definitely has one, but he still goes outside and violates social distancing rules.
Oh yeah, there's
he's
a
the
couple of
number-
them doing that.
He's the number one social distancing violator on planet Earth.
But he was volunteering, giving food the other day.
Was he? That's pretty. That's definitely
Yeah.
just a PR move.
I think it was to combat that time when he forced Ndombele to train with him during the start of the coronavirus pandemic in England.
You think Daniel Levy was like, now you gotta do community service?
I'm not sure what you mean by that at all.
No, like, I mean, he's like, oh, you fucked up, now we look bad, so now you have to go do community service.
Like in the league?
Yeah.
I don't know
You
about
get what I
man.
mean?
I mean, Tottenham hasn't been looking good in the news the past couple of weeks. I mean, they like almost furloughed all their employees. And then Dele Alli got robbed like today. So like I think they want to lay low for a bit.
That's got nothing to do with Delhi though. That's just, he just got robbed. It happens.
Damn. Poor Deli.
Do you think that they outed him as the guy that they were gonna rob? Like they tracked him down like they did Kim Kardashian in Paris? Because I definitely see him as like an easy target. Like if I was gonna rob any Tottenham player, it'd be Dele Alli.
Deli Alley.
The last Tottenham player I would rob because I think he's a genuine human being is Son.
Well, he's also a
been in
soldier.
England. Yeah.
Yeah, he's also a soldier. Can't forget that.
You know who's not high on that list? Who I think would be easy to rob? Harry Kane.
You
Why?
don't want to rob Harry Kane?
No, I think he could take me out.
He would just breathe
Why?
on you and then.
He's a
Yo.
huge dude.
I don't think he's a huge dude. Is he a huge dude?
I'm looking that up right now. He's 6'2" and
He is
190 pounds.
Is Harry Kane a huge dude? What a Google search. He's 6'2" and 100 and what pounds?
190 pounds. I rounded up.
Beast.
I mean, that's enough to run you over.
I mean, that's like a small tank.
So I think, what do you guys think about this? MLS is planning on doing a summer tournament here in Florida, in Orlando, at the ESPN Wide World of Sports Complex. It's going to be a 4-week thing. 4-week thing. All 26 teams. It's gonna be it's gonna be a group stage and then knockout stage with consolation games to make sure that everybody plays the same amount of matches.
Damn.
What is this for?
An MLS style like tournament. It doesn't say whether it's gonna replace the regular season or if it's just gonna be a thing to like keep the players like, match fit, while we wait like the possibility of playing an entire season.
That doesn't sound too bad. I mean, I question it yet again, but honestly, we should just let the development squads play and count that as like the real team. Like let your youth team decide who wins everything. Or we should only have a starting 11 of players who have beaten the virus already. So we'd have Tom Hanks.
I don't even know who that is.
You know who Tom Hanks is?
Mr.
He's Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
He's Woody from Toy Story.
Father of Chet Hanks. That's a deep cut.
Nah, that is a deep cut. I like Chet Hanks, truthfully. He gets a lot of stick, deservedly so. But I fuck with Chet Hanks.
Good guy to party with, probably.
Probably yes. He was in an episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm. He plays like an Afghan war vet who has PTSD, but it's from the Revolutionary War instead. It's quite, it's jokes. It's jokes.
Do you guys still want to talk about the Premier League? We can talk about Newcastle's impending move or impending purchase.
Oh, yeah, they're gonna be bought out by like the Chinese, isn't it? Is that offensive to say?
No, it's some Arabs. I think it's some Arabs.
Some Arabs.
Supposedly it's the king of Saudi Arabia, so there'll be royalty.
Damn, the king.
I mean,
Hey.
dictator, whatever you like to
Sheik.
call him.
I think it's Sheik.
The Sheik. Oh, that's fire.
Yeah,
I definitely want to be owned by a Sheik. I think teams owned by Sheiks perform much better than teams not owned by Sheiks.
Statistically, you're right.
If you really want to take deep cut.
Yeah.
So who's that?
In the modern day,
Who are these teams?
PSG, Man City, Liverpool is owned by a Sheik. I'm pretty sure.
It's LeBron James and the guy who owns the Boston Red Sox.
Yeah, that's a Sheik for sure.
American.
Yo,
Sheik?
LeBron James is definitely connected to the UAE somehow. I don't care. I can't be convinced
What's his
otherwise.
net worth?
LeBron James?
The Sheik of
No, the king of Saudi Arabia.
it's something ridiculous, probably. While you're looking that up,
I'm googling it
whoever's
now.
looking this up, which of your favorite?
17 billion.
Oh my gosh.
But it's estimated that his entire royal family is worth 100 billion. So they
Is that a lot?
They got some money.
If you're
Yes. Why did you ask if that's a lot? You know that's a lot. Open up your Chase bank account right now and tell me, is that a lot?
No, I have SunTrust.
going back to Newcastle, I want to ask this question: which out of all your favorite proposed meme teams you've seen on Instagram is your favorite? The teams like Newcastle's expected lineup next year: Cavani, Mbappe, Griezmann, Vidal at CDM. Which one's your
Neymar.
favorite? Yeah, Neymar in there.
For
like
me
that one
personally, I like the one where it's just the PSG lineup, but in the Newcastle, kit. That one's not bad.
That happened?
Someone made that edit. That edit exists.
Bro, we must be bored as fuck.
I mean, probably, yeah. I mean, to make that piece of content, you must be.
You put some time into there.
Yeah, because it was pretty good too. Like, it wasn't just like a sheet. You know how they do like team lineups, right? And it's just like the names and the players. Like, nah, he photoshopped like the kit, the jersey onto each player, and then did like a breakdown of like, all right, Cavani would be best playing behind Sean Longstaff.
What the fuck? It's gonna take forever.
And he's
though,
not
for them
wrong.
to get all those players.
I think I saw that meme out there, and I was looking at the team. And I don't think it'd be a bad team. Like they definitely would get Europa League. I think.
Oh, for sure.
Like they.
You're basically saying, can PSG get Europa League? And my answer to that is, I think so.
Yes.
Well, it all depends on who Toulouse buy in their takeover as well.
What do you mean Toulouse? Are they getting bought out?
Well, because the PSG season, I mean the league, the French the French league has been canceled. They're not being relegated anymore, so there's an opportunity there for investors. So Toulouse is basically the French Newcastle. I mean, am I wrong still? I didn't have to correct myself.
You did.
Yeah.
It's the.
I found it.
It's the Uber Eats, League on.
The Uber Eats League on. Is it really sponsored by Uber Eats?
Yes.
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 Shut
Yes,
the
he's
fuck
not
up.
kidding.
There's no way.
No, he's not kidding. We've seen this before. All right, this is the lineup I want to see. Oh fuck! I picked the wrong one. Check the chat. Is this the one you were talking about?
Yes. That one's legendary.
Messi's on there.
Who's that player on the far right? The one next to Van Dijk and behind Mbappe.
I don't know who that is. Maybe that's like the current player.
Let me see right now. I'll open up the chat again. Behind who? Behind Mbappe?
And next to Van Dijk.
Top right.
Isn't that Alexander Mitrovic? I think he's actually a player. No, it's not Mitrovic. Why is Ronaldo here? Why is Conte here?
Do you see the guy from Goal? Is in the team?
No,
Yeah.
I didn't notice that.
Have you guys seen that? Have you seen that movie?
They should. No, I haven't. But they should have the girl from Bend It Like Beckham.
Amanda Bynes?
No, Amanda Bynes is not in Bend It Like Beckham. You're thinking of She's the Man.
Sorry.
What's wrong with you?
Sorry.
No, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have spoken out of turn that way.
It's fine.
The no soccer has been going crazy.
I think this.
Who's winning the Europa League?
Are they even doing Europa League?
No.
Nah, Europa League is super canceled because you already know those teams from Azerbaijan facing the teams from like Belgium are carrying the Super Rona.
Super Rona.
Absolutely, they have this. They have a strain of corona that can't be contained by normal human means.
Wait, wasn't there a country that just didn't shut down? I forgot what they were called.
America?
Oh, Belarus.
Oh.
Them too.
Sweden didn't shut down though.
They must know something.
They're all the same person, so like if you just give them all the same antibody, they'll be fine.
They're all the same. They're all named Sven.
They all hate Zlatan. Yo, since there won't be probably enough money going around for transfers due to all the lost revenue and such, I mean, teams like Chelsea, you think they could be really good next year? If there is a next year?
Yeah, definitely for sure. Because we have the war chest ready to go, ready to spend on whoever we can get. That's not Jadon Sancho.
I heard there's only 3 teams that can spend or have the ability to spend in the Premier League.
I mean, I believe it because all the wages and everything. Because people still have to be paid.
Who do you think it is?
There's no revenue coming in. The 3 teams that can honestly keep going are probably. First of all, Barcelona is gonna go bankrupt. They're selling Messi for sure.
Messi sold confirmed. That's funny.
Messi to MLS.
Remember they
Messi
wanted to
to
get
MLS.
Neymar in the summer?
Yeah,
Imagine if
that
they
was a
actually
fun
got him.
dream.
Hey,
Imagine if it went through with it.
that Newcastle lineup might not be the worst. That might be realistic.
We can see it, man. The crazier things have happened in the world of football.
The only thing that wouldn't happen would be the EV Holland transfer.
You know what would be funny?
Nah,
If
that's
it-
because he's a Leeds fan.
Disgusting.
If the Newcastle owners just gave a stimulus to all the teams.
The
he got bored.
Newcastle.
Chic.
Chic. Socialist Premier League.
I mean, honestly, yeah, give all the teams the same amount of money and see who does the best.
Sean Dyche.
That way, Sean, it's gonna be Sam Allardyce.
He would win the league by 30 points.
Bro, he's been on the memes. He's been on memes right now, where he's like holding his arms. I don't know, but he looks like he's drunk. And they're
They
like,
would
"This
bring
is
back
me at the
Alan Pardew in a heartbeat.
party." Who else? What was that Tottenham coach? I forgot his name.
Which one?
Andre Villas-Boas?
Before, I think it's after him.
Oh, Sherwood.
Yeah, him.
Tim Sherwood. Tim Sherwood. Nah, it would. I still think it'd be Newcastle. Because they already spent nothing, so they would somehow finish top and bottom at the same time.
What do we say? The teams that could like sustain next season without like with the loss of revenue. We said Newcastle, I guess.
Alright, if we're gonna be serious, Newcastle, Man City, and PSG are gonna be just fine. If Newcastle are bought.
Oh, I was talking about the Premier League, not the whole.
Oh, then just probably Man City will be fine. Honestly, I think Man United is gonna be fine as well.
Yeah, I think they were gonna get to.
I disagree with you. I think it'd be Chelsea. Like you see, they didn't furlough any of their workers.
And well, that's because look at where they are. If they furloughed the workers, their employees would be homeless immediately because that rent cost is insane.
I mean, also you
Because
guys didn't spend much last summer.
Yeah,
I mean, we were banned from spending.
but I mean,
Y'all knew Corona was coming.
Chelsea leaked Corona. Tammy Abraham stopped scoring and we created a virus.
Oh, going back to the whole like the beat Rona team. You can add what's his face, Callum Hudson-Odoi on that team.
Oh, he did beat the Roner.
That adds verticality.
That's jokes.
Dybala too recently.
Barely though.
Bailey?
Yeah, he almost lost to the Rona.
No way.
I told you he's asthmatic, so I'm pretty sure he had a tougher time than most.
Yeah.
I didn't know he had asthma.
That one other Juventus defender had it too. I forgot his name.
Probably Delit. He seems like the type to get the Rona. Some people are just like really unlucky, and like all the bad things happen to them. I feel like he's one of those guys where like it's not like really bad things, but it's just like sometimes his shoe's always untied, or like his hair's always brushed the wrong way. Whenever he gets in his car, he gets the red lights. I feel like that's him.
I agree. He was the only defender that got beat by Chucky Lozano this year in Serie A.
Oh yeah, he got slammed.
I don't know what you mean. Lozano's great. I think you're being a little rough on our winger. It seems like every few years Mexico it's a new winger, and then just shits on them forever. Like first it was Jesus Corona, and now it's Lozano. I wonder who's next. Who's the next winger?
I think it was supposed to be Diego Lainez, who was playing in Betis. I think he is still playing in Betis, but he hasn't gotten any game time, and I don't know what's
racism.
Yeah.
He's too small.
Are we officially pinning it on racism? And what league is this?
La Liga.
Oh, La Liga's racist against Mexicans?
Yeah.
I believe it,
Confirmed.
truthfully.
I think one of the...
Yeah.
I guess it is. We gotta ask Hugo Sanchez how his treatment was back in the 80s when it was like, it was okay to be openly racist.
It was encouraged.
It was encouraged. They had signs that says, "Please shout your worst profanity."
I mean, I don't know.
You
Maybe
can muster.
Maybe he's an outlier because he's like a top 10 Real Madrid player. But I don't know. Maybe ask Andres Guardado.
No, he would know
yeah,
for sure. Maybe even Hector Herrera.
Definitely Hector Herrera.
Bro, I feel like Herrera's the type to get like shout at, but then he'll shout back.
Yo, where does Andres Guardado rank in like all-time Mexican players?
He's a legend.
I would have to think that he's pretty up there. That he's like universally liked.
Yeah, no hate on him.
Caesar, I feel like you're holding back some hate.
I mean, you can only hate the Mexico squad so much. I mean, Yeah, like definitely like loved, can't hate on him at all, but like you always want to you always want that team to do more, but they just can't produce more for whatever reason.
No, but do you have
Maybe
any
we're
hate for Andres Guardado?
No, not at all.
Okay, that's fair.
But also I'm not going
he's
to
so
praise
consistent.
him. Yeah.
No, he never got hate because he left too early to get hate in the mainland.
The mainland.
So, the mainland. So that's why I think. And everybody hates on Chicharito.
People hate Chicharito?
Yeah,
That's
they
news
call
to
him
me. I
shit.
thought he was I thought he was universally loved.
No, everybody hates Chicharito.
Yeah,
It's crazy. You think, I mean, he's Mexico's, leading scorer, and he was,
Yeah.
third striker on the 2014 World Cup team, and he was playing in Europe at the time.
he won the Premier League.
Twice. He won La Liga. No, he didn't, but he probably had like a Champions League or something from that crazy run.
He helped Ronaldo get to this quarterfinal. Or was it?
It was a
I
really
forgot.
important quarterfinal.
When they,
It's when they were wearing the pink jerseys.
Oh, that was a legendary Real Madrid kid, truthfully. All right, Caesar.
yeah,
Now's the time.
what's it time for?
Your monologue.
I don't know.
My monologue?
Yeah, we need a
Yeah.
monologue.
Alright. I guess it'll be Premier League related. How do I say this? I think we're in a tough situation right now. It's 50-50 on whether the season's going to happen or not. I see arguments on both sides. If I see the players' concerns, what if one of them catches it and what if one of them dies, and what's the fallback, that will set a definitely new precedent, and the Premier League trophy will have an MVP trophy named after that player. But I can also see why they need to play, because
I'm not wishing death on anyone, but
Mhm.
I hope it's Sean Longstaff.
gosh.
I just want them to rename the MVP to Sean Longstaff. The Longstaff Award. Please, can we have a Longstaff Award? Thank you, that is all.
Yeah. I think I lost my train of thought.
You were thinking about
Just-
Longstaff?
I mean, it's a sexual
You're-
trophy.
You were saying why it should be played.
I mean, yeah, because if it's not played, then the sports in itself could face an existential crisis, I think. I mean, I think it already is right now. The massive growth of sports and players' wages will come to a halt now. No more crazy
Right.
300 million transfer deals. Players making $250 a week. I mean, that will probably be the maximum for a while now.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think we will see the fall of transfer prices just because players need to be moved more reasonably, and teams are going to be less willing to offer up that kind of cash, knowing that this kind of thing, maybe we play now, but let's say something happens and we have all these wages on our books, we have all these costs and expenditures. We have to be a little more careful with what we spend. And I think that's going to be a global thing in the soccer world.
I think it also might bring the birth of a players' union in Europe. I know,
No, definitely no union.
You don't.
I don't. I'm not going to join the union. No.
I mean, we have what is it? We're based in America, so there's a big history of sports unions. I'm not gonna say unions in general because that's a whole different topic. But I think if players are staying with clubs longer, they're gonna want more from the clubs. They're gonna want better treatment, and such.
Bro, Nasri was getting jerked off at the massage drip parlors, all expenses paid by his club. What more could you want? I think there's definitely going to be disparity in I think it's going to be difficult for them to unionize because they're going to need the help of the really big teams, and the really big teams are going to be the teams that are able to stop their players from joining these unions. So it'll basically be the whole of Europe will be unified except the Premier League. That's why we need Brexit.
I mean, the whole like coronavirus thing. I mean, it could like it's. I mean, I feel like it's pushing us closer and closer to this European Super League.
Yeah.
Like I don't know about you, but like League One is definitely like I don't know how they're doing it without PSG. Like look at Serie A, like some of the top clubs like haven't paid their players in weeks. Like Bundesliga, like they were like the only reason they're playing right now is because like they have to play. Like if not, then like half the teams will go extinct. Like we will never see Schalke again.
Oh please, not Schalke.
Do you think they're gonna get record views since they're like the only league?
I think the views will increase for sure. I think this will be like a few years ago, maybe like around 2010, there was that huge influx of, I'd say maybe just a bit earlier as well, the huge influx of like Premier League fans in the United States because they started showing their games. I think we'll see the same thing for the Bundesliga. Because like the Bundesliga is like not that far a stretch from the Premier League. Because the only reason why Premier League is so popular in America is because it's English. Like it's in English.
Mm-hmm.
So Germany's not that far off. I think the American community is going to be more responsive to like a German league than like a Spanish league or an Italian league because they hate the Spanish and the Italians.
I agree with you. Like I mean, and it helps that like a lot of like America's budding stars play in the Bundesliga. Like that Reina kid for Dortmund. You know, he's gonna be starting.
John Brooks.
I mean, what?
The Brooks guy, he plays in the Bundesliga.
Yeah, but he's old.
Yeah, but he's a star.
I mean, what's not Pulisic? He's no longer there. But that Weston McKennie plays there. Tyler Adams for what's that team?
Leipzig.
Yeah, Leipzig.
Leipzig. Yeah, Tyler Adams was really good, by the way.
Very good. That one Josh kid who plays for I think Frankfurt, and I saw rumors on ESPN that he was getting linked to Juventus.
Damn.
I don't ever want to see a guy named Josh play for Juve. It just doesn't sound right.
Boot it, Josh. Boot it.
Boot it, Josh. I don't think you could be allowed to play professional sports and be named something so ridiculous. I feel the same way about Simeon Zaza. He shouldn't be allowed to play.
He was the guy that missed the penalty in Euro 2012, right? Like he had this big wind up and then just blasted it past the post, right? He had the horrible run up that looked like dancing from a Bad Bunny video, and then he just booted it.
Yo, there really is a lot of American players over there. I didn't know that.
I'm telling you, it's the easiest jump for them because it's the least amount of culture shock. That's what they want to avoid. It's the same reason why British players, you never really see them leave England. Because they're so against anything that isn't their culture. America is really the same way. Like they'll go visit and backpack for 2 weeks and be the most spiritually lifted person on earth and then shut the fuck up for the rest of their life about it.
Yeah, I think you're kind of right. They're more scared to go out there.
For sure.
Are you gonna tune in? I mean, I think I will for the first game. Like it's sports. Like legit is sports.
What are you trying to watch? They got the
Schalke.
Leipzig game. They got the Dortmund game. They're all gonna play at the same time. Oh,
well, we got the Dortmund the Dortmund Classico, whatever. It's Schalke versus Dortmund.
Oh, I'm definitely Team Schalke right there. I'm just gonna pretend because they're playing in blue that it's Chelsea. I'm like, damn. When did we sign Farman?
I think that's the best game.
I think so. It's gonna be the most. Is that game gonna be played behind closed doors?
All of them are.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Like I said, we're not gonna have fans for at least like a good year and a half, I think.
That's the way to do it.
That
won't be a problem. That won't be a problem for Man City. They're used to it.
You should just steal all the Man U fans. They already sold Manchester.
I think I saw on ESPN FC that it's like the 8th anniversary of the Aguero goal.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Good time.
That last minute winner for the league. On goal difference. What a flex. You ever just win on goal difference on the last day? That's a
The
power
last
move.
minute.
You know, that was, I saw a comment that said that was Balotelli's first and only Man City assist.
I believe that.
And it, yeah, and it was to win the league. I didn't fact check that any further because I just want to live in all of that.
Did you see he has beef with Chiellini?
Yeah, I seen that.
Why?
I think Chiellini wrote an autobiography, and in it he called out Balotelli and Felipe Melo, I think, right?
Yeah.
Italians love autobiographies. I think Buffon has one too.
How many do you think Pirlo has?
Oh, Pirlo has written like 14 books about playing midfield. And one book about his wife playing midfield in the women's league. So at least 3 autobiographies. Caesar,
My
I must say,
favorite game-
I'm really enjoying the background noise.
Is it that loud?
It's not loud, but it's subtle enough that like I can like tune in.
Oh, I guess I'll have to rethink this experience.
No, it's good. It sounds like we're on the bleachers of like a local 5-a-side.
Well, I mean, I need to get my sports fix.
Dude.
Like 3 weeks ago, I was on my evening walks, and I was walking through a neighborhood, and I saw these 2 kids play basketball, and like I stopped for 2 seconds to see like who was gonna win.
I saw a woman feeding ducks. I was like, I gotta tune in.
I started watching Korean baseball, and like
Oh, I saw that. I didn't watch it, but I saw that it was listed in like ESPN or something.
yeah,
And I was like, why are they showing Korean baseball? Is this like North Korean baseball? Please explain.
Are you talking to me about the Korean baseball league?
Yeah, I'm talking about the Korean
Oh.
baseball.
Well, I mean, by watching it, I mean watching highlights on YouTube. You know.
I thought you were watching it like tuning in.
No, the games start like at 2 or 3 in the morning.
So be a real fan.
You're right. I'm not a real fan. I'm a dino daddy. But yeah, I guess ESPN bought the rights to the Korean baseball league because there's no baseball right now, and there's no basketball, and there's nothing. So they just gotta have something.
I mean, yeah, they were. If you look at the content that they were showing before, this is definitely a step up. They could be showing like just people swimming in a community pool, and the ratings would go up.
The 1 assist thing is a real thing.
Thanks for looking that up, stat man.
Fact checker Danny.
I had to see it.
I
It was real. It's
I
on
wonder
the
if they
Premier
had
website.
advanced stats at that game, and I want to know that expected assist on that actual assist.
Expect. I mean, it was if you remember, it was an easy one too. Like it was a good pass, so I think they'd give it to him. But then media did hate Mario Balotelli, so they probably would have given him like a -1 XA.
Is that even
Like, yo,
possible?
this should.
What?
Is it possible, Caesar?
Negative
Can you get
XA?
a negative expected goal or assist?
I think I don't
Would that
know.
be
I can't
own goal?
answer that.
The defender
I mean,
would
if
have to
you
pass
own
it to the
goal.
striker.
I'll reach out to StatsBomb and ask him.
What did you just put in the chat?
My-
NC Dino's mascot, the Swole Daddy. That's hilarious. I'm so happy I lived on the earth at the same time that this exists.
What is this?
The Swole Daddy,
What the
man.
fuck? What's this? What?
It's the NC Dino's mascot.
Going back to the signing things, so the president of La Liga is saying that there will be no signings next year. Like there will be like tightening on financial regulations.
For the whole
Yeah,
league.
I saw that.
Yeah,
That's good. That's interesting. I wonder how they regulate that in terms of like players whose contracts are also expiring, and see if you can offer players like extensions for this like rudimentary extension of the season as well, because a lot of players' contracts are ending June 1st. And like, will they be allowed to stay at the club? How are they going to manage all of this?
It's a legal mess.
If you can't sign, yeah, if you can't sign anyone,
Like just gonna be like a clusterfuck of just legal battles everywhere. Like I was listening to this one video and like there's just gonna be so many things. Like what if a player gets hurt? You know what's going on? You know.
yeah, and I agree. It's worth looking into.
We might see we might see some forced retirements.
You think so?
Like for real. Like if you're a club, do you take a punt on Mario Balotelli, or do you promote your youth player?
You take a punt on Mario Balotelli.
I mean, if you're an MLS club, yes, but like if you're a middle tier Italian club, I'm not sure.
If you're a middle tier Italian club, Balotelli has already played for you. But no, I think you're right. And the thing is, these youth systems, like those youth players, they get paid. They're on payroll. Like, are they being furloughed? Or are they being made sure? Because if I'm 17 and my entire life is football, and my football club can't afford to pay me £300 a week, I'm gonna be sick. I'm gonna look into like fucking coding or something.
Oh, that's true.
Like how many young players are we gonna lose to this virus as well because they end up becoming a software engineer?
Nerd.
They're gonna have a part-time plus Premier League.
A part-time league, Sunday league, really.
You're right, Andrew.
Yeah, like I can't make it to the game. I gotta go work.
Yeah, but like, yo, I can't because I'm not being paid, and I gotta work at Tesco in 40 minutes for my shift.
Disgusting. But wouldn't that go back to the whole thing about like unionizing?
Oh yeah.
I think we're facing like a whole threat here. Like if the Rona thing becomes worse and like, the whole global economy like is stuttering right now, like we'll definitely get rid of these smaller leagues and we'll definitely have the European Super League. So you'll only have the top players. So I think at that point you'll have to unionize because I think there'll only be a select group of like what 300, 600 players in the league.
Right. And if they do unionize, who do you think the speaker is going to be? Who's the most well-spoken player in the Premier League?
I was going to say Mikel Arteta, but I forgot he's an actual coach now.
Harry Kane.
If Harry Kane spoke on my behalf, I'd be in prison for something.
I think at the start of this conversation, I had no idea I wanted to talk about Chelsea, but now all I want to do is just talk about Chelsea and just glow about how they will be the best team for the next 3 years because no one will be able to buy any players.
I don't know why you have this theory that Chelsea's able to buy players.
No, I'm saying I'm saying since nobody will be able to buy players, I think Chelsea will be the most dominant team in the Premier League.
I don't know.
They can recall
a lot
all
of
those
teams
loan players you guys have.
We finally get to see Marco Van Ginkel play and Mario Pasalic.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Exactly.
Like I don't see Man City like being able to buy players, especially with the whole like what is it UEFA restrictions on them, and then like their economy being dependent on oil and tourism.
Well, I think the thing is Man City is the retention of players. If they keep that squad, I think they'll be fine because they won't be selling either.
But then they won't have Champions League, and they're gonna want Champions League. So
why won't they? Oh yeah, they're banned from the Champions League. That's cool too.
yeah, they got fucked at the wrong time.
Maybe they're the ones who invented the Rona. I think it's just a waiting game to see what's gonna happen.
Danny, what do you think
About what?
about this? About my Chelsea theory, I guess.
I disagree.
I mean, like their players aren't bad, and they're young, so they're only gonna get better. So yeah, they just do their in-house transfers, I guess.
In-house transfers.
Yeah, you'll have so many players.
Like the only team that can challenge him in the next couple of years is Newcastle.
New rivalry.
The giants of Europe, Chelsea and Newcastle.
The oil giants.
Hey, Dortmund might actually be like a dominant force in the Bundesliga for a couple years.
Oh, that's true. So you're saying feeder clubs are gonna be like dominant?
Well, I think it'll either be two things. Either the feeder clubs will be forced to sell because they have no money in the bank, and they have to pay everyone. Like Ajax may have to sell Sergi Destin to whoever to keep the whole league afloat.
The whole league.
But I mean, Dortmund might be like fine. Like they don't really need to sell anybody. They made a profit off Ousmane Dembele's left leg.
I agree.
Bro, they have no shame. They stole them too much.
I think Frankfurt might be the richest club after that Luka Jovic, Rebic, and Sebastian Haller money.
Wait, but do they even have that money? You know how they always pay like in payments?
Oh, they're definitely hitting up those teams and saying, "Yo, pay now, pay now, pay now. We need it."
Where my money at?
Definitely.
Yeah.
I think they're languishing in 10th place or something. Like a Bundesliga 2 team is ahead of them.
Please don't ever say the word languishing to me again.
Like I don't want to gloat here, but like Madrid might be the best team in like La Liga for the next couple of years. Same with Atletico. Like Barca can't buy anybody, so like they really have to rely on Messi's 35-year-old legs, and Busquets is like aging corpse.
They have older players still.
I bet they'll still get the job done with a 36-year-old Rakitic.
We'll still be
I always see him
on
on the
Man U.
Yeah, I always see Rakitic on like the news, like complaining about playing time or some shit.
I mean, if he suddenly becomes better than Arthur, he'll play.
Is Arthur okay now?
What was wrong with him? He was bad?
He had gonorrhea.
Nah, I'm sure he's fine. Gonorrhea is like one of those that like it's okay to get every now and then. Whoa, that's all we had today, folks.
Yeah, I got nothing else to say. I know. I was ready to talk about the Bundesliga. I did my research. I was ready to...
Yo, what under the radar coach should we look out for when the coronavirus is over, Caesar?
Ooh.
What was that, dude? You said like last year or last season?
Hugelhorn?
Hasenhüttl. What's that team called? The team, Southampton. Yeah, well, he brought him up. Like they were like about to get relegated in December. Now let me look at the table. They're... Oh, I wish ESPN gave me numbers. They're not gonna get relegated. I can tell you that.
Did Hasenhüttl create the coronavirus? It sounds like an evil scientist name to keep Southampton afloat.
Bro, it's spelled funny too.
I can actually tell you an underrated coach in the Bundesliga who will be a star within the next couple of years.
Nagelsmann?
Nagelsmann is too mainstream now. If you would have said that like 3 years ago, like for sure, but like, nah, not anymore. The coach for Mönchengladbach. Remember when they were up there in the Premier League?
They were hot for a minute.
Yeah, their coach used to coach at the coaching factory at Red Bull.
The coaching factory.
Yeah. What's his name? Something cool like Maximilian.
I already know what you're gonna name your son.
It's called Marco Rose.
Yeah, Marco Rose. Yes, Marco Rose. Like, if you're on like the Stats Bomb blogs and all these other like football nerds website, like they rave about him. Like how he's like the next big thing. Like he's doing it with Marcus Thuram and like a bunch of like no-name French or Ligue 1 rejects.
Sounds like the way to go. Something about lower league French players just gets the job done.
I mean, this isn't a lower league French player, but do you remember Moussa Sissoko absolutely dominating the 2016 Euro finals?
Yes, he was amazing. What about it?
No, I just wanted to bring that memory back to everybody.
Nah, Moussa Sissoko was a great player.
He played in a Champions League final.
Did he give the penalty away?
Lost it.
Tottenham played in a final.
He did give the penalty away, I'm pretty sure.
Tottenham played in a final. That's hard. That's crazy to think about.
They didn't win though.
I mean, but they went to the Champions League final.
Who played France in the final of the World Cup? But it'll take you more than 5 seconds to remember.
Oh, he's also a World Cup winner too. Oh my God.
He's not bad.
He's got some stats under his belt.
Here's another coach who's like an under the radar coach. The coach for Schalke. I forget his name again, but he was Klopp's right hand man for like forever, and then he coached I think Brighton or Huddersfield in the Premier League. He kept him up for 1 year, and then I think he quit, or they both mutually decided to go separate ways because he couldn't keep up Huddersfield last year when they got relegated. But he's doing all right. He brought back Schalke, a team who almost got relegated last year into like Europa League spot.
That's not a bad achievement either. Because when you look at that Schalke side, it's not that impressive, like on paper.
No, like is Huntelaar still playing there?
I don't think so.
I think he is.
I mean, Huntelaar's like 41 years old.
Hey, he scored a goal against Madrid last year.
That was not last year. That was like 5 years ago with Leroy Sané.
No, he scored a goal. Oh no, that was with Ajax. Never mind.
Yeah, he's with Ajax.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He got replaced by Dusan Tadic for some reason as a striker.
Hey, Dusan Tadic has a Ballon d'Or vote.
From who? Check that man's scalp for like a parasite.
Other than those two coaches, I got nothing else on the Bundesliga. It's gonna be exciting. Like we got actual sports, but at the end, Bayern Munich's still probably gonna win the league.
What's the standing?
It's just gonna be Alphonso Davies on the field.
Oh, speaking of that, Alphonso Davies, my new favorite player.
Come on, man.
Did you know him when he was in MLS?
I mean, I heard of his name, but like, I'm not the biggest MLS guy. But he torched Chelsea. I remember that.
He did destroy Chelsea. He made Reece James look like fucking Branislav Ivanovic. He made Reece James look like McManaman from West Brom. He made Reece James look like 2010 Glenn Johnson.
I need to rewatch those highlights.
He made Reece James look like Arsenal's Bakary Sagna. He made Reece James look like Danny.
Who they play? Oh, was it Bayern?
Yeah, it was Chelsea versus Bayern.
Oh, that's when Gnabry did the cooking thing. Again.
Gnabry just hates London.
Poor Bayern. I mean, if the Rona would have gotten in the way, I think they would have won the treble.
Yeah, they were looking good.
Nah. They were gonna lose to Chelsea.
They were 3 up. What do you mean?
Okay. Wasn't a certain team like up 4-0?
Yeah, but they play in the Uber Eats league.
You're talking about PSG? Nah, they got 3
definitely
up
the episode title.
in London. So you have to score 4 goals.
It's possible, bro. Because Pulisic will be back. If
I don't know,
Pulisic can score 3 against Burnley, he can score 4 against Bayern.
I don't know, man. You gotta stop Lewandowski and Gnabry and Kingsley Coman if he doesn't hurt himself.
Andrew, going back to the whole like unlucky thing about De Ligt getting Rona, Kingsley Coman is the type to get that as well.
Right?
Hasn't Kingsley Coman played for every great team ever?
Yeah, he has more trophies than Zlatan,
What a man.
but less playing time than E.V. Holland.
Stop calling him EB. You're confusing me.
Is
I
that his
didn't know that
nickname
he's a Leeds super fan.
Who,
So
Haaland?
when Leeds get promoted, he's gonna play for them.
So you know that ugly Ronaldo statue that was like unveiled like 4 or 5 years ago?
The
Yeah.
bust, yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't a Ronaldo statue.
What was it?
It was an
It was
E.V.
a-
Holland statue.
All right. I'm about to log out of this call.
I'm done. No more soccer talk.